Make your artwork personal. Fill your exploration of art in a real personal way. And I'll tell you why I'm mentioning that. I think as we go through our life and develop as artists, we want to be able to express our voice, but we want to do it in the most original way. And in our very television oriented society, movie oriented society, Hollywood oriented society, news and media oriented society, sometimes we forget what's right around us and intimately available to us. Now, oftentimes when I'm viewing the work of artists, sometimes I'm in the park and you see those portrait artists. Sometimes I'm looking at portfolios. Sometimes I have new students coming in. Very often I see pictures or portraits of famous people, people who are already established in society, recognized by the general public. They're famous. And that's okay, but I want to encourage you to grow in your appreciation of your immediate surroundings and the experiences you have and record them as an artist somehow. If you're on a trip to Tuscany, sit down with your easel in this cobblestone street and draw what you see. Those pieces of artwork, even if they're not perfected in your studio, you will find that they become very special to you. Things that you can't really repeat. I compare sometimes great artists. I look at Anthony van Dyck. He's one of my favorites of the Baroque. But he was kind of cornered into this situation where he was stuck painting and repainting the King of England. And it just continued on and on. And I think he was sort of stripped of that opportunity to be his own artist sometimes because he was under compulsion or requirement to fill in these orders of what was required of him as a court painter. He was a great artist, and I think he had so much to say, and he could have said so much. Sometimes I compare great artists. I look at Edgar Degas or Jules Breton or William Adolphe Bouguereau, or more recently, and if I can mention a great artist that I admire to no end is Richard Schmidt. But I make this little comparison in my mind. Richard Schmidt was able to make iconic images, amazing compositions out of his wife Nancy painting in the studio, or somebody in the market, or his little grandchildren, or farm scenes, pastoral scenes with people, figures inside. But he made them iconic. He took an ordinary scene, something that was intimate to him, and he made it iconic. But there's something intimate about what Mr. Schmidt did, right? Um, about what Jules Breton did in pastoral scenes, peasant scenes. And even William Adolphe Bouguereau painted his own family members and people around him. I think I'd like to encourage every one of you to really take a look at your own experiences. Now, I wanted to show you this series of images. She was a beautiful, beautiful young dancer and a neighbor of ours. My wife and I sometimes would cross her path and we'd have a little conversation. And it was such a beautiful experience to see a young person, a hardworking person, very, very intelligent and sharp. And she had her her motives, everything together. She was a true, worthy person of appreciation. And we always did. But one day, my wife and I came home from work and we crossed a path, and her eyes were all filled with tears. And we said, can we do something? Is there something we can do for you? Is everything okay? And she said, today I had to make a difficult decision. I had to stop dancing. She was in the semi professional level. and she just couldn't take it any further on her own. And it cut us to the heart. It really did. And so I said, well, come in the studio and we'll do something. We'll do something together. Um, and I was able to generate a small series of images of this beautiful ballerina in a setting of preparing to dance where she wouldn't be observed by anyone. She's not performing, just fluffing up her tutu or tying her slipper, whatever they do before they dance. That's become a very, very special collection of drawings for us. The experience is something we'll never be able to repeat. It's part of our history, and it fully came from the heart. It's not something that was copied or commercial or even present to the general public, but to us it was really special. These little intimate moments are very, very special, and I want you to explore them. Explore what's around you, explore who's around you, and make it into a piece of artwork. Now, this study or series of drawings has become very special to me as an artist because it was a deep study in the foreshortening of the upper body in a very awkward position. So here she's tying her slipper, but we're looking down the body through the rib cage, and it's actually covering over the pelvic area. It's not a typical pose that we would draw anyone in. Normally, people are standing up, and we separate the rib cage from the pelvis. Here, they're overlapping. And so it was an amazing study, and all three images are done that way, where we see foreshortening the main elements of the torso. And I got a little sketch of how that was developed, all manually done in a classroom, actually. And we wanted to explore the various positions of the bending over figure and understand how we would express a volumetric form and still maintain an understanding of the proper proportional values of the elements of the head, the rib cage, and the pelvis. We didn't have to worry so much about the legs because we can see them in full view, and same with the arms. So yes, what an experience. I want to share that with you. Take your pencil and draw your life. Draw your life, fill your portfolio with your life, and take pride in that. And as you get older, like me, you see the gray hair, you start to really love the things you did earlier on as an artist, even if it's not perfect. It's those memories that are perfect to you, and that's special. So we try to explain that thoroughly as we do our studio work together in the atelier. Please join. Please click on a like. Please click on subscribe. Those things help the channel so I can share more wonderful experiences with you. Thank you.